relationship life before Tiff was very much how modern relationships are today, with just like dating and like with no boundaries as long as the other person or partner allows it. And that was pretty much how my relationships were before, like just no boundaries and like sleeping around and like just, it feels good for a moment, but it wasn't really a fulfilling relationship. After a while, they just started to go downhill and never seemed to climb back up. And I guess that was the most frustrating part of the other relationships that I've been with, and they just never really seemed to have a fix to anything, and just get or make things worse, or things get worse. And yeah.
Before I met Bernard, I didn't date a lot of guys, but I was in one really serious relationship for about 5 years, and it was with a pastor's son, and I really thought that was the one, and that was who I was gonna marry, and I was so in love with him, and it felt like God was always trying to end the relationship, and I just kept on, like I was just fighting God relentlessly that this was who I was gonna be with, and it eventually ended, as does all things that are not God things. And then I dated 2 other Christian guys shortly after, and they just all kept ending, bad, or just not clicking or whatever. And so before Bernard, I just kind of decided I was just going to be single and just graduate from college, and I really wasn't dating anybody. I wasn't looking to date anyone. I was just really focused on, I'm just going to graduate college, serve God at church while I do, and
When I met Tiff was through church. It's kind of pretty funny, not funny, because I was dating this other girl, and coming to church, we were going through problems already in my last relationship, and our problems were getting worse, and I really wanted her to start coming to church, just because she didn't want to come to church, and she wouldn't let me come without, or she just didn't like me coming to church, so I just decided to bring her along to church. And so doing that, the church meaning like the youth that I've been with has seen that relationship, and Tiff was one of those that really stepped out and just being there for me and her. And that's where it's just funny, not funny, because that's where Tiff has really been there for me when I had been going through things, and that's where I met Tiff. So my first impression of Tiff is, at first I really thought she's really beautiful in and out. Also that she just has a caring heart for others who wouldn't do the same for her, and that really caught my attention and just really got me liking that about her. And I also like that she just takes the time to listen to you, and it's not the kind of listen that just like, yeah, oh, okay, I see. She really gives her feedback into it, and it wouldn't be just that, like, she'll follow through with it. And that's what I really liked about her when she got me through things. And I also like that she does many things in the church that she goes for above and beyond.
How did I meet Bernard? The first time actually I met Bernard was at summer camp. I really don't remember him very much. I just remember that he was in my tribe, and I was the leader, and he was really annoying. Like, he would not be quiet. He was the guy that I kept having to, shh, please, like, stop, listen, all that. But I really remember meeting him again when him and his girlfriend at the time came back to church, and he hadn't been in church for a while. And I remember thinking, you know, it's really good that he's back here, and I wasn't quite sure how long he would be back at church. So I really wanted to take time to talk to him and to talk to his girlfriend and see if there was a way to get them more involved at church or plugged in, because I had seen God touch Bernard at camp, and he had been gone from church for about a year and a half. And my first impressions of Bernard was that he's very full energy. He likes to joke around. He likes to make everybody laugh. And I think I just really thought he's a really fun guy. I thought he was handsome, but at the time that I first met him again, he was really young. So I wasn't really checking him out. Like, yeah, he was a good looking guy, but I wasn't, you know, into him at the time.
There are many reasons that I thought I could never have Tiff. Was one being a really big one is cultural differences. My mom and my side of the family and where I grew up in is it's very unlikely to have you date outside of your culture. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And just that the way I look at Tiff is, or used to look at Tiff is that she's just very like high up there, and I'm just like here, and there is no way that I could be having someone as great as her, and it just seemed like almost like a dream that you could never have. Like you would wake up to it and it wouldn't be there, and yeah, that's why I think that.
Honestly, with Bernard, I guess like I said, I really wasn't trying to date anybody. I had finally just decided like relationships and me are just not clicking, and with Bernard, I really was trying to help him, you know, get closer to God and figure out his relationship with this girl at the time. And so really my focus was just to help him. And so I guess I would say I didn't think we would date because, you know, he's a lot younger than me, and, you know, baby Christian, like just coming back to God and everything. And I was meeting him right at the end of a relationship. So everything in my book was just not a good fit for us to date or try and date. And I definitely didn't think that Bernard would, like, for me, if I was ever going to date somebody younger than me, I would need somebody that really mans up and is not afraid to talk to my parents, not afraid to leave beside me. And I definitely didn't think Bernard was the type of guy that was going to meet, I guess, my standard or what I was looking for in a guy.
The way me and Tiff has ended up dating was very confusing for me in the beginning, because the way I saw it was she wanted, or like we wanted to, but it wasn't allowed to be. One of the factors being that our age difference, or like our cultural differences, or like that I just got out of a relationship, and that it just made her really feel like a rebound, and so she was very guarded with that, and so our relationship started with we are dating but not dating kind of way. So me and Tiff had gone through a number of trials, one being when I went to basic. It was just felt very long, and our only contact was through snail mail, and sometimes our letters wouldn't be in order. And so fast forward that story, I came back from basic, having to retry to gain her back because of me doing things at basic that has caused me to lose her, and that was a big challenge for me, because I felt like being back at the bottom again, not being able to do it. And also one being where I had a talk with PK, being that I had to get a job, a car, like moving out from my mom, like not depending on her, and that felt like I could never do anything like that. But I took the challenge and took him up on that. And
so me and Bernard started dating. Well, our dating history is kind of weird. He was about to go to drill, and he had asked me to be his girlfriend. I think he was leaving in March, and he asked me in February, and he just called me down and like to the car in the parking lot, and he just asked me out, and I told him, I was like, actually it doesn't work that way, like, you know, we have to talk to leaders, and you can't just like ask me to be your girlfriend like that. And I was like, there's a whole way that this goes about. And really at the time, I didn't think he was serious. He was leaving for drill for 4 months, and we wouldn't really be able to talk. So I knew a lot could happen. So I basically rejected him. I was like, no, we're not gonna go out. And then we corresponded through snail mail, which was actually a trial in our relationship. I have abandonment issues, so I definitely didn't think somebody not calling, not, you know, you can't IG, you can't MySpace, Facebook, nothing. Like, it's, I hope they wrote me a letter, I hope I get it in 5 million weeks, like, but Bernard stayed really consistent in pursuing me. And when I actually broke up with him while he was at drill, or I told him I didn't want to talk anymore, and I really thought that would be it, that he would go back to his ex-girlfriend or his old ways of not loving Jesus and everything. And he kept writing, he kept calling, and when he came back, I was really mean. Like, I was really like, this is never gonna happen, we're never gonna be together. I think I was just kind of testing him, like, to see if he could stick around and really fight for me. And he came back from jail really determined that we still had feelings for each other and we were gonna work things out. And then we met with my parents, and that was a really interesting conversation. We were told we're not allowed to have a title, that we can just keep hanging out, and that was interesting for us because we didn't really understand, but we went ahead and did that. And then one day, I don't really remember how, but we just started saying boyfriend, girlfriend. And some of our trials that we have faced is our age difference. Like, you know, I'm definitely a couple of years older than him, so I'm at a different place, but it's almost a good thing because I'm able to kind of push him in a way that I'm not sure a girlfriend his same age could push him or whatever. And I definitely thought our walk, like our Christian walk, would get him away. Like, he's so young, and I'm born and raised Christian, but he's really stepped up and he loves Jesus. And even though he may not know everything, you know, he has a curiosity and he has a passion for the church, and that makes us, you know, a good fit. Another trial we have faced is, I think, just being our cultural difference, like just me being American, him being Yappies, and just people not really understanding us, or why we're together, or people doubting that we'll last, or that it's really meant to be, or whatever. And that's kind of some of the stuff that we have faced, and many others, but
God is a very big role in our relationship. It's also very new to me because, as I told you before, my other relationships had zero God in it, and this relationship, it's like coming to know Tiff. She's one of the first things she told me is that we would never be anything if I don't want anything to do with God, and like if I was just going to church just for her. And at first, the first thought that came to me was, okay, I'm just gonna come to church and fake it and make it, sort of, and that didn't really do anything. And God knows when I decided that, and so I decided to really like get close and step forward and be what she's asked of me, and also to just come close to God. And so, like, from there, our relationship has been almost filtered through God, and like doing things that a modern day secular relationship wouldn't do, like actually waiting till marriage to have sex, and or like just going through these marriage counselings that we're doing, and just going through leadership for relationship advices, or just things that a secular relationship wouldn't do. Sort of, yeah. So
Seem to be good.
getting married is very exciting. Hasn't really hit me yet. But I am excited. It's something that I never really saw myself doing, just because the way I've seen today's couples, or like just even in the entertainment world, and how they're very quick to divorce, and I just really saw marriage as a very not good thing to do, and it'd be very pointless. But with me and Tiff, like, I'm very excited to get married, just because of seeing what God has done in my life and her life since we've met, and I'm more excited to see what He has for us together when we finally do get married. And it's just something that I haven't really seen an example in front of me till I came to this church, of how marriage is supposed to be, and how God has really planned marriage for our lives. And it's just something I want to experience for myself, and just have a journey with her. Yeah.
God in our relationship is pretty much a very important part of our relationship. I mean, we don't talk about God 24/7, but we're very involved at church, both of us. And if I'm not there, you know, He wants to know why I miss church, and vice versa. Like, if He's not there, you know, I want to know what happened. And so I think that's really good to have a Christian relationship, because it can push you towards God if you let it. Like, it can be someone that you really love calling out the best in you. You can trust them and know that they're not judging you, they're not acting better than you. They genuinely want to know that you're walking with God and everything. I think God also, you know, he plays a big role in the fact that you know, we are not living together before we get married, and we're not basically, we are not married. Like, so we're not doing anything that a married couple should be doing. We're not sleeping together. We don't have shared banking accounts. You know, we're not acting like we're married. We're not having kids, and I think that's important, because I feel like if we honor God as we're dating Him, or as we're dating, then God will honor us. Like, if we continue to put Him first, and we put the church first, we don't go out on dates on prayer nights, or we don't go out on dates, you know, on Sunday mornings, or we stayed up too late, we don't go to church. Like, we want to make sure that we make time for God in our relationship, and even just like doing the marriage counseling, or asking for permission if we can date, you know, like little things like that, where maybe not every couple needs to do it this way, or not every couple does it this way, but for us, for me, this is the way that I wanted to do it, because I want God to bless our marriage, and I want God to be honored through us. And the reason I am so excited to marry Bernard is because the more I've gotten to know him, like, I would have never imagined Bernard to be the perfect fit for me. Like, I mean, we don't have a perfect relationship, but he does so many things that I didn't know I would need in a guy. Like, I always thought girls cook, that's just what girls do. Not that I can't cook, but it's so nice to have an almost husband that wants to come home when he, like, late, and he wants to cook, and he wants to cook for us, and he wants to do the dishes, and it's like, wow, and he wants to, you know, just buy me a flower just because. And Bernard's outlook on life is very positive. It's a very upbeat, even in his worst, you know, situations in life. When you talk to him about maybe his bad times in life, he's always trying to look like for positive outlook in it, and that's really good for me, because I can tend to go like negative and everything. So I'm just really excited to be his wife, and to call out the amazing man of God that I see in Bernard. And he's really handsome, and he's funny, he makes me laugh, he gets on my nerves a little bit, but it's like in the best way. And I'm just excited to figure out what marriage looks like with him at my side. And he's such a huge fan of mine. that it just makes me really excited to be like.
Can you have it standing to me?
I need to read the first
Okay.
Would it help if I called you Bubba? What trials have your
Wait,
relationship
every
faced?
video.
Your
Wait,
relationship
every video I have to be setting differently.
faced? Oh my god.
Yeah.
What problems have your relationship faced? What problems have your relationship faced?
Huh?
What trials have your relationship faced?
Wait.
My relationship. What does that mean? It makes sense. I understand it. Sorry, guys. Okay. I hope I don't look fat, guys. I hope you're shooting me nicely.
Oh my gosh.
What? Woo! Get off me. Go away, guys. Okay, bye.